Hello and welcome. I am Firehawk. I am joined by the lovely Expo, and today we are casting an ESEA match between Omen Esports and Amped Esports. And of course, Omen Esports, lovely roster. They recently got picked up from the previous team, Milked now, and they are a CSE roster. How are you doing today, Expo? Small audio too. You should be able to be heard now. Expo. Sorry about that, everyone who couldn't hear that lovely commentary.
This is an intense knife round going on here. Oh! It was so close up until it wasn't.
Yeah, I love the economy item there where it's like, yes, clearly both teams are at $16 bazillion after the conclusion of knife round. This is the new meta. Both teams can full buy for the entire half.
I do really love how this HUD has the profile pictures. That's actually very cool.
Yeah, it makes things nice. We get to see all the details, look at the little bottom tail of nuke that no one touches until like round 3. Through.
Okay,
Looks
doesn't seem like there's anything
nice
controversial.
Outside play for Amped Esports here to start us off. They're going to be heading into Chris as their first person, playing high up. He's watching for Silo. No one's there, so he's going to be backing up. Heaven's going to be dropping down. Rue's going to be peeking from hell to try and join in this fight, but unfortunately going to be dispatched quickly. Not unfortunately now. Now they're doing a L wrap. They're going to be able to take out 2. MP on the advantage. Now 3, 4. Make that 1v3. MP9 is all on his own, and he is going to be taken out here. They didn't switch him in what?
That was such a hectic situation.
They both reloaded in each other's faces and didn't try knifing? Banned. Just banned. I'm sorry,
especially
but
with
that
the
is not
teammate
okay,
there. It's kind of shocking there was no knife attempt for sure.
Like,
that was so tough though.
Chris
got a couple of really big picks there and was able to live for a long time, but that setup inside of hell just did not work for the CT side.
Yeah, absolutely. One thing I am curious about, Omen Esports does have a policy of throwing the first map in every BO3. I'm not sure how well this is going to carry through them here in BO1s for Advanced here, since their old habits, if they try them in BO1s, are a great way of getting a goose egg record.
It's okay. It's just map 1, parentheses, only one map.
It's just map 1 of 1.
The map in question.
Alright, Nate isn't going to tag everyone. It looks like Amped is really worried about a lobby rush that isn't coming through. They also have, it looks like, Bones on top of Silo here, but of course nothing's playing through, and we're just on a nice delay here until looks like Amped is going to be starting their execution now, defaulting a little bit, but mostly heading into the ramp, which is actually left entirely open now. And Chris gets a nice deep shot outside.
A good pick, but the spacing here is kind of weird for the CTs because they pushed up secret to get that pick, and so they kind of gave up sight to get it.
Yeah, and because of that, Amped actually has to clear a lot of the space down here. That's going to give Omen a lot of time to rotate in. The bomb is not down yet. It's just starting to be planted here.
Bomb has been planted.
No.
Nice double flashes.
This is good space taking, but this is a hard fight.
Yeah, but that's going to win it for them, I'm pretty sure, because Coley's stuck in a max 10.
Yeah, that's too tough.
I mean, he should have had 2 kills, frankly.
That fell apart so quickly for Amped. It was kind of strange. Like, I felt like their individual positions were fine, but they just were not ready, I guess, for the pace. There was some really good trading going on.
I think 2 things took part there. 1, like you said, the pace. 2, we rotating out with the MP9 after getting out into a spot that others weren't ready for. He swung from a side that they thought was clear, so he was able to pick up 1 kill for free while they just weren't ready for him.
This is kind of a weird economic situation, though. SMGs obviously don't really matter against the low buy, but the scouts can be interesting to see.
I mean, yeah, at least we playing it from outside.
Oh!
Okay.
Good trade. Good trade.
I mean, that's more than we thought the scout was gonna get with the EHG to back it up, I guess.
Seriously.
Not how the second scout would take that.
Oh wait, I don't know if Chris knows they're in garage already.
I mean,
Ooh.
he definitely does now. He did get fully tagged up. It's now 4v4 with 2 players tagged on both sides.
I almost feel like that scout damage is enough to make this round interesting.
Honestly,
Because now
yeah.
the CTs, if they retake from hell, they're gonna have to take a huge risk. Rue's getting super aggressive though, I like this. Only getting the one, MP9 getting a double,
Now
trading it out.
All onto AJ here. Stuck alone in garage and your position's known, so he's going to get caught out here as soon as Bingus decides it's actually worth going beyond just the shoulder here, but it's looking like they're content to just burn out the clock. 40 seconds to let AJ make a mistake and give them a free kill here from CT. That's going to play out for them.
Yeah, that was very well played. I think they did a good job adapting there. I feel like they recognized that they couldn't take the space hell, and so they took the space in mini instead.
Yeah,
and that worked really good.
Yeah, it's a really clean adjustment that Amped made, but Omen was ready for it with, I believe it was MP9 getting a quick double kill to really lock that round out there, and they just had no more options with the scout stuck in the garage.
I guess you could say MP9 got the MP9 double kills.
You know, that almost sounds like the sentence that would come out of, like, if we were French casters being translated over. Okay, the CS2 mollies still look really nice.
You know, I actually find it really interesting what Omen are doing here. They're just taking... See, that timing was unfortunate. I see how good they were going for, but... Good double up to try and keep them in this.
Ooh.
Chris.
Chris with a triple on the round. He's now upgraded his weapon twice off of that.
Oh, the bomb was still in the back. This is definitely an awkward 2v2 for both teams, I think.
I mean, Amped has an op that they don't want to risk, but they can't write this round off. They have to go for it, or they're in a really bad spot. So.
Surely down then, I would imagine.
I mean, basically, yeah. And
so, where are they going to position with this op, though?
I think
this is a hard post
just
plan
going to
with
be
the
staying
op.
in single, which is going to be really rough to watch that pop out because, I mean, Chris is going to smoke you off here, right? There's no world where AJ doesn't get smoked off and this turns into a 2v1 on site, right? I mean, we do see...
They do have the kit for this as well. I mean, with the kit and the smoke, it definitely looks pretty rough for Amped here, but they're running out of time.
Okay,
Oh,
never mind.
no.
I thought MP9 got a double down to AJ, but no, it's pretty firm. Oh, he's past the angle, and
Yeah,
MP9
no
knows
time,
better
though.
than to go for it here, so he's just trying to get an angle to force AJ down the block.
Yeah.
That's really clean out of MP9 to secure that at the end. And
Definitely a bit of a
Amped won.
Pyrrhic victory from Amped.
Yeah, I mean, even though
Their
they
eco's
won,
devastated
their eco's
pretty
devastated because
Yeah.
of how they were forced into that win. And I would say that gives them an advantage, but Ween and Chris have almost nothing, so Omen's on here against what is an economy that Amped will try to bonus on. Almost certainly. They have what, 3 Galils and a max 10, so they're going to try and play that for a bonus play.
You know, I almost feel like this is a round that in retrospect Omen are gonna wish that they'd bought more into, because I feel like if they had like armor and pistol here, this would be very winnable. But yeah, I mean with no armor they're just getting rolled by the SMGs, unfortunately.
Yeah, it definitely feels like they made a mistake with the amount that they chose to buy in, but you can't fault them for the mistake because it's very hard to track what type of economic decisions are still open for Amped and not knowing how strong the economy can be at any given moment because they just
Yeah,
get
especially
bomb
after a round like that. But that'll be Amped taking this one away, and I mean, I feel like Omen have had some really solid ideas, some really dynamic gameplay so far. I feel like it's going to work out for them with their CT setup, I think.
Oh,
But this will be the round.
No, you've had the dink.
Oh, that was so confusing. For a second, I thought Wilson's POV was a CT, and I was like, huh?
There's another one?
just staring at the T's, hanging out.
The CT's figured it out? The solution to the CS2 meta revives?
Why didn't anyone
Sagel?
figure it out sooner? Simply get rid of the violence. Just peace. Okay, so they do actually have the op-out now on Ween. Before, I don't know if you remember, but they had been playing kind of passively outside with their previous setups.
I mean, we did see Ween once try and contest Silo, but they haven't had anything to contest actually the rush of players outside. I don't know what Amped is going to do here. They are going for the bonus like they basically have to do. They don't have enough money to upgrade, but
yeah,
they do have full eco both sides. So it is going to be a round that comes down to the setups here.
Yeah, they are taking that op outside. I do think that's definitely the right decision here with no op on Amped.
Yeah. Amped is also choosing to not send anyone silo this round, and a little bit of fake pressure on Ramp as Ween does pick up the kill onto Bones outside. That's going to be
already getting the
5,
impact
and
off
they're
of that.
trapped into lobby here. They do seem to be wanting to make a change over here.
See, the unfortunate thing is, yeah, I think Amped realized it as well. I think they were going to reset outside, but they realized they don't have the util for it. They only have one smoke, so they're kind of forcing themselves into an upper hit, it looks like. And I'm not too confident. Good opener from Snap. Trades all over the place.
Chris is extremely low, though, so basically all on Venus, and he is able to pick up the double, and Chris is able to retrieve the op for Ween. That round swung
A
very
total
close
bloodbath on A site. Every single pick happening pretty much right there.
But yeah, really just a blender of a site there, and out of it, it looks like Omen is going to be sitting pretty, and Amped is forced to take what looks like a technical timeout here, as they have Snoop Afu out of the server.
Yeah, I mean, that was just nice, good, solid fundamentals there. I think they properly recognized that the T's were not really in a position to go outside again and just stacked that upper site, and it pretty much just went perfectly.
Yeah, I mean, there's not much more to say about that. They made the right calls, and they did go down through trades, but they maintained the advantage that they had from the early 5-on-4, and they actually pushed it a little bit further at the end with Bingus getting a double there, preventing Chris from needing to make a clutch at 7 HP against what could have been an HE thrown up.
The thing that I've found really interesting is I almost feel like Omen have been kind of drawing Amped into these outside takes a little bit.
It does feel like
especially last round, you think about how Omen have kind of, I don't know if it's intentional, so I don't know if it's conditioning for sure, but it feels like they were kind of conditioned into taking that peek outside and giving that pick to Ween.
I mean, they've played it so passive. Even that round, they gave all of the space to go outside until that line where they've said, this is where you will die, and at this point, you're also far enough away your team can't get to you if you're a solo lurk. And if you're a team that's rushing, we'll just back away and let you be abandoned to the rest of your team trying to go into whatever the execute is. And from there, we'll still have a 5-on-4 advantage. They're content to just use it for hitting to that 5-on-4. And
this is kind of odd.
Technical pause continuing here.
Wait, I'm so confused what happened there. Was that just a glitch with the timer on the HUD? Or did they literally run the clock all the way down but then repause?
I'm not sure. I don't know how the HUD handles technical timeouts. It could be that they just assume a maximum time of 2 minutes for technical timeouts because some rule sets have that. Or it could be that they did use a tactical timeout because there is a limit to how much you can use technical pauses for. Run out and have to use your tech. I don't know.
Yeah, I think it's hard to say for sure, but I think that right now, Amped have shown that they can really contest ramp. They can obviously really contest outside. I think for this next big gun round, I think they need to show that they can pressure those A players as well. I think that's what they've kind of lacked. And I think if they get that pressure, and I think it would alleviate their setup a lot.
Oh, Omen leaving a lot of util on the ground out there. No, it's like Amp's trying to go for a very fast A take, but they're going to be forced off from the util, and they're able to get one down vents. So it's going to be up to Wilson here to try and get it, but Bingus was already fast down from ramp. He's able to pick that one up. They've reached a quick 5-on-3 with Wing picking up another kill outside onto AJ, and Bingus is starting to rotate up. And what was that dink onto Snoop after?
I don't know. That nade, just brutal. There's nothing to do about that.
Bones is going to try and get a flank, but surely that option is known.
Did Bones see barrel? No.
I don't think he did, because he's watching a lot of top vents, and now he's checking.
Oh no, the timing.
The worst timing, no.
That's so sad.
And now it's on to Coley. He's in a 1v5. Box at home. He's stuck at 12 HP. Someone help my mans. He's gonna go down.
One volley. An admirable attempt, but little to do.
I mean, what would you
out.
have used that molly for in the 1v5? I would have dropped it on the ground beneath my feet. I'm gonna be honest.
Yeah. Definitely not a lot to do with 12.
Like it's a team molly. It's only 2 ticks. It'll be okay. It'll be okay.
I guess the big question that I am wondering for Amped is whether or not for their last big gun round, if they're going to try and pull out Knob.
I'm not sure. They are going
go for that head-to-head.
5 slow into lobby. They're going to go for what I think is a delayed ramp rush here. Ween's watching. This is the first shot, going to chuck an HE as he runs away. And support is not fast, but they're rushing it to hell already. And Chris is here to try and lock them out. JJ's got an AK, but I mean, they didn't have head armor, so the USP's able to close it out.
Chris just had that cleaned up.
Bingus being the only one
setup.
to go down. Amped isn't going to get much economy out of it, and Omen isn't going to lose much either. They're going to maintain the advantage here as Amped gets another gun round. If they're forced onto a save for this one, they hit one more buy in the half. If they win this one, they get in a shot, but otherwise it's looking like it's going to be
they don't have that op on Amped, which I do find interesting. I think that's probably going to inform how they play this round out.
I mean, they have just such restricted utils, even with 4 AKs. No, that is 5 AKs. That I don't think they realistically had the option unless they went to glass cannon it.
Yeah, okay, they got cross smokes up. They're not faking it this time. That makes sense.
I mean, Owen has elected to just fully let them use the crossbows to their own will and just use the molly as a delay and give them time to set up.
Oh, this is very quick pacing.
Somehow 0 players B.
Whoa.
Why would Omen not re-rotate for this, actually? It's going to be a 5-on-5 retake.
Yeah, Amp definitely caught a timing here. This was...
I mean, they have...
Wait, this is interesting. Wait, we might be able to get one crossing out here.
Misses that one again. And they're on to site with bomb. So that's going to go down here. HE's not going to land near anyone.
So here's the thing, though. The CTs still have a pretty respectable amount of utility. So they have a pretty solid shot here in this retake.
They absolutely do. And it is 5-on-4. They were able to find the lurker. They're going to cut off control room here.
Yeah, Bones is already kind of out of the fight.
On site. Bones able to smoke goes down. Now it's just the 2 players stuck going double. They're going to take the duel. It's not going to work out. They're going to be able to take it out. That's going to be a 6th round for Omen here. And Amp is stuck on a save again. They're going to get one more buy in the half either after this round 10 and goes into round 11, or they're going to go for a double save here and get their last buy in round 12. I mean, they can go for a force here, but I don't think that would improve their chances at all.
I almost wonder how intentional it is from Omen to kind of just let Amped really take that space towards B, because Amped really have not been able to lock that down a whole lot.
Yeah.
And I think Omen are kind of just saying, like, listen, if you can't convert this, we're just going to let you have it.
I mean, yeah, it might be that they're just way more confident in their retakes than they are in their B-side holds. Ween seems to be way more confident in getting that aggressive peak going all the way up against that Mullion.
Is that 3 openers already?
Player, so they're at a 5-on-4, and they're rushing in. They're all tagged up already, so it's going to be a quick spray down, and it's all going to be forced back into line, taking damage through the walls. He has a minute to play with, but he only has a Tech 9. He doesn't have util, he doesn't have spacing. His position is more than known. Tech 9 is trying to go for a play. He's getting tagged on his toes. This round is looking like it's going to be decided unless... Are they going to watch for him to flank into Hell here?
Yeah, I mean, they should be aware of that timing, surely.
Yeah, and as I mentioned it, Wayne is already shifting to watch for it, and Omen have shifted to saying he could come from anywhere at this point, but I mean, that just means he's not staring at 5 players and trying to win the that smoke really lets everyone know you can stare at him coming from sight, and that HP is going to damage.
Unfortunate.
I mean, he took 2 damage from that HE flying. He had to just look at that and accept his fate.
Yeah, I really just feel like the biggest difference maker for Omen right now is just playing off of that space, knowing when to push together, knowing when to give up map control. Because it feels like even though Amped are getting space, they're in such awkward positions, they can't really do much about it.
Yeah, I mean, Amped is picking up an off for the 2nd time this game, but they also have chosen to throw away their chance at a bye next round. If they even have a harsh win this round, they don't have a bye. I mean, if they lose 3, they get 2 guns through. I
think if this head-to-head goes good, then that'll be promising for them for sure.
Yeah, I mean,
one of the biggest thorns has been those openers from Ween.
Yeah, and if they are able to track Ween out, I mean, they do have a lot of information at this point about how Ween likes to play in this matchup, and they're going for, well, we're going for a bit of a denial. Oh my! AJ is going to be able to survive against that top pick. That's the first time that Amped has had to gain advantage early on. Going to be able to pick up another one. Chris, so far able to pick up 1, goes back down. It's a 3-on-3. Make that a 2-on-3 as moves another to Snoop Afu, getting 3 so far from Silo. On for the ace as they head into A site. And Ween and MP9 are probably going to go for a save here, most likely. Unless Ween can pick something up here quickly from heaven. I mean, his position isn't known yet. HE
oh, that HE's good.
Flash into peek, and it's not able to find anything. MP9 not finding anything through. Is able to pick up the first kill.
Oh, wait.
Finds the position of the second.
An awkward spot on
now
site.
all onto the 1v1 between Wilson and Ween. USP versus AK, and he's trying to drain magazine size, and he's able to get it done.
Yep.
I'm sorry, I thought the AK was supposed to be the better weapon.
Yeah, that was a really awkward 1v1. I'm not sure if you noticed, but right when it got down to that 1v1, Wilson was in an awkward spot too, because Wilson had to trade out that mini player and was really focused on that. So, yeah, Ween just had great positioning there, good timing, kind of letting that mini player take the fight first and get the initiative.
Yeah, I mean, forcing that to be a duel off of the 180, I know Wilson wasn't comfortable at any point, and he didn't have time to reset any spray. Ween did a really good job of repeating right as the spray ended each time, and before it could be reset, so he was constantly shooting inaccurate shots.
Yeah, I mean, this has just been a really clean performance from Chris, especially so far. Just 18 and 4 is pretty ridiculous.
Amped is on what I would classify as a force buy. They have 3 Galils, very poor util. They're almost out of smokes already. At this point, they're stuck with. I mean, Bones.
I don't think Omen are convinced by that smoke wall. They're just calling the bluff on it.
Yeah, I mean,
they're not really convinced that they're sending anyone across. I don't think.
They played the same way for the last one. They just mollied off today. This round is they're able to maintain the ESEA. They do lose down to a 2v3. 1v3 as Queen's now stuck in a solo clutch. Not quite able to pick up the kill.
That was dangerous.
Onto AJ, flashes himself out to try to peek. Confirms that the plant isn't quite down yet, but doesn't know the position of Bones, and he's going to tag heavy. And I think this is going to end up being 8-4 here, unless
this would have to be nuts
massive.
With 15 HP.
I mean, yeah, he's trying
Are we
to
gonna
find...
see? Are we gonna see a? No.
No, unfortunately not. I mean, Coley able to get the 3K entry onto site is really what determined it. Omen had the right call. They had the right setup, but
I mean,
unfortunately,
really,
you just don't always win duels even with the advantage.
The trades just felt a lot better from Amp that round. They finally found their pocket. They had good trades and positioning with each other, and they were finally able to break through that upper site. It's just kind of a shame it took late into the half for them to finally have success with it.
I mean, yeah, finding 4 rounds on their T side, it is actually good for Nuke, assuming it plays similar to how it used to play, but you never know what the way that Matt's going to play, especially if it's going. Chris is holding back.
Under a lot of pressure.
Yeah,
the lobby crunch is brutal.
Lobby crunch this round pulled off a lot. Ween is together with Bingus trying to lurk back in. They retake bomb. I mean, even if that was lost, MP9's position was entirely unknown. He was able to pick up a dual kill towards the end
That's
as well.
just like, that's a really interesting round to break down. Like, all the deaths that happened were right in lobby that round, and I almost feel like they almost switched teams a little bit. Like, it ended up being another CT pistol for Omen. I mean, that's what it felt like a little bit.
Amps had a successful lobby take. They went down to 3-on-3 for it, but they had bomb, which is really what you're trying to look for when you're going for those risky plays. But from there, Omen just had enough of a position advantage. They were able to back out their own lobby.
Getting crazy with it on the SMGs.
Yeah,
MP9 gets caught.
Chris is able to get all the way down to along with the rest of Omen, with the exception of Brew being a lurker right now, up towards lobby, trying to find a good time to activate.
Oh, I think he got it. Oh! Lovely transfer to save that.
Absolutely a
quick
lovely
headshot.
transfer by Brew to save it, but
Now, this is kind of weird because Amp surely would have to go for this, I would imagine.
I mean, 4-10 and the economic disadvantage for another round is terrible for them, but they're also too slow at this point. I mean, they don't have a kit, so
Yeah, see, that's
time. They're just trying to kill as many of the Omen players as possible by bomb at this point, and Omen is aware
That feels
of it, so
that feels like a confusing decision to me from Amp. I'm not quite too sure what they were thinking, because obviously saving those 2 MAC-10s does not have a lot of value to them.
They're gonna have A1S this round anyway, so yeah, it feels like they wanted to keep Omen on site and get more of them to die to bomb, but that economic play compared to...
I don't know. I feel like at this point they just needed that round on the board and they just needed to commit to that retake. We'll see how it pans out.
I mean, it will give
they
them an
do
advantage in
just
this round.
barely get the op on AJ, which I actually think is a very good decision here.
Yeah, the one thing I don't like about this is that I don't know if AJ has, frankly, any armor.
No, it looks like it does show.
Yeah,
AJ has no armor,
yeah,
it would
so
seem.
he's
Glass
fully
cannon.
glass cannoning and
Yeah.
setting himself
They really just barely
up
got it out.
actually in lower right now, trying to lurk into secret. He pushes forward. He could get caught out by Bingus here, and it looks like he is aware of it. So we're going to be having this standoff here while Omen is trying to determine do they lurk into a...
I mean, I think this is the right read from Amped. I think that they have this op set up in a power position, and as long as... Oh, no.
No,
AJ overstepped a
forward
little
just
bit.
a little bit too far. And
Yeah.
that's going to decide. They're going to have a really powerful heaven wrap here. It's all going to be onto Bones to try and stop. He's going to be able to pick up the first, and now he's caught in locker room. Luckily for him,
Bones is getting wrapped already.
Omen hasn't decided to throw a molly to get him out. They are going to be able to get him with guns instead. Now it's a 4-on-3, and they still have the ability to just go B in a 3v1. And
Yeah, the CTs are also disconnected at this point. They're all basically on an island. This is really tough for them, trying to get a game plan out of this.
I mean, Snoofafu's trying to watch for, frankly, either way, while Rue is just trying to be patient and not activate dangerously here.
Oh, caught with the util out. That's a lot of information as well from Amp now. If they're quick enough...
They know they have to rotate B, so at the very least, Coley's going to rotate in, but he's going to be caught.
Good information, but the peak was not quite right. Wilson comes swinging in to try and go for the 1v2, but not meant to be.
Yeah, Amped had to go for that round very aggressively. They did nearly manage to bring it into what I would call an almost fair 1v1, but unfortunately Bingus was positioned so that he could be there for the next 2v1 spray down, and that's going to be an 11th round for Omen. And I would almost call Amped out of this round entirely. I think they might be going for a save just off of the fact that AJ Wilson and Coley have no economy, and they can't afford to go for a weak force here. So,
and the problem is,
like
Omen they're definitely on a hot streak now. They're clearly playing in a confident pocket. They found a flow for themselves, and Amped are going to force up a buy, which I do think is probably the best decision they could make in this situation.
I mean,
although
yeah, I almost would say at this point you need to try and go for just a streak of rounds, because even if you win this round, you're going for another low chance round afterwards. But
you know,
it
might
is going
sound
to
weird.
that play of, do you want 3 low chance rounds that you have to win 2 of, or do you want 1 high chance round that you can then never win?
Yeah. Fast Smokes, a pretty quick cross here from MP9.
I mean, AJ is ready to try and cash this one out. He is able to do it as well.
Yeah, good timing from AJ this time around. Still keeping some of the space, too.
Yeah, and at this point, Amped does know that the outside take was mostly fake, even if they do still have a lot of their players devoted. They only have 3 players to hold any form of A site take here. But as it heads into ramp here, Foley's going to drop back, and they're going to be able to have a 2-on-4 for the site hold, if not a 3-on-4, if they are able to get a rotate down vents.
So, I'm very curious where Omen are going to pick here. I mean, I think both sites are definitely super viable.
I mean, yeah, they definitely have what they wanted to go for, but I guess it's passes out that they're firing ramp but AJ's able to pick up a second. His position's known, but I don't think that matters too much.
Ooh.
Never mind. Chris is able to get the
find
blind
from
spray.
Chris. That Molly's out, but it's a bit late. Snafu's past it.
Yeah. And now
Chris was not ready for that timing.
Queen's on the 1v2.
And the date.
He didn't manage to get out. His position is no longer known. I mean, they know he isn't on site, but they don't know where he left site from.
There is an HE for this, but I don't know if that's really going to be enough.
I mean, he got them off
Yeah.
bomb again, and he's definitely trying to spray the smoke, but he's missed it. He has time to go around if he gets it. And he got it! They don't have time for the fuse. It just cut under 10 seconds.
Oh my god, no kit!
I think we just got that. I think we got it by like 0.2 seconds there. Yeah, I saw.
No, that is a heartbreaking round.
Oh, Amped. Literally.
Just that
moments
last
away.
second. Yeah, it was down to like not even 100 milliseconds between the picks.
Yeah, I mean, you absolutely have to give credit to Wayne there for pulling that off in the 1v3, going down to 19 HP and still pulling it off, but Amped is on a heartbreaker. They got it in. Defusing even faster, it might have been enough.
I think at this point, Amped are maybe just a little bit in their heads about things. You know, I feel like Omen are playing pretty confidently now. They know their fundamentals are going to
I mean, yeah, they're economically.
Crazy.
I think
Crazy
it might
trade.
Be an okay.
What is going on? These trades outside are so crazy. There's a scout no scope through a smoke, and then this.
And then jump peek. Actually walks up for the swing.
Okay, a good advantage round for Amped.
Yeah, they're definitely not out of it mentally. They felt the back against the wall. They're definitely playing like it, but they're not out of it yet. And
wait, whoa! Look
Bones
at this
is all
flank
the way on the
outside.
flank, yeah. I mean, he hears the footsteps.
This is really good
checking for
info.
him, but with that molly, they're not
think
actually
Bones is too
watching their
fast.
back actively. And able to get the focus there. Our MP9's just a little bit too fast on trying to panic in the spray.
Yeah, I mean, that worked out actually pretty beautifully for Amped. I'm not sure what was different there, but, like, the timing seemed locked in. They seemed like they really understood where to expect people a lot more than some of these other rounds. Their clears were fantastic.
I mean, yeah, they definitely did everything they had to do. They've gotten themselves rewarded with a bye on this round, and, I mean... Owen was not expecting to lose that round. They're taking a timeout to figure out their economy, figure out how to secure themselves the most chances to win a single round in the rest of this half to lock it out before we get to overtime.
Now, I don't know. I don't think the T's really are going to have eco to pull out an op on their next buy. I don't think they're going to try that.
I mean,
they
they're on
don't seem
single
interested.
loss.
Yeah. I don't think there was
They're
any
purely
way.
trying to get some really aggressive, really fast play for next round ready. Well, looks like they're going for weren't ready for the molly. One piece of util that they weren't ready to be just thrown beforehand. That's going to be deciding the round. They tried to go for...
Wait, whoa. This is really aggressive. Okay. I don't think this will get too weird, but...
Yeah, no. I mean, Snoopafu definitely trying to swing the confidence back after getting the first two kills there.
Yeah, I saw that and was like, wait, this could get dangerous.
Yeah, luckily the danger was held down to an acceptable level, and Amped was able to secure the round. Didn't have to risk too much, but Snoopafu's no longer building up a bit of a nest egg here, and Amped is still, I mean...
Yeah, and I really like that AJ is getting on the op again. I actually think that's important, and I think this round could be a very good confidence builder on the op. I think if Amp want to try and get back into this, they need AJ to really get activated.
Yeah, I mean, going for a slow outside take, just going with 5 deagles and saying we'll get a few lucky kills and keep the CT eco weak, maybe even restrict it a lot, is a really smart choice by Omen. They've read how much space they've been given outside. This is turning into a very strange save round here. Bingus not able to pick up his kill.
Outside.
Bones ready for top red. Catches up if there's more outside, and doesn't quite look like Omen's firing him. Bones almost goes down to that, but luckily his jump was well placed, able to pick up the second. Now it's all into Ween. Position unknown, but they are very clearly assuming that he's sitting inside of right here.
Yeah, they definitely know. They definitely know.
Yeah, Bone swinging aggressively past where the Deeg is going to be ready for a slow, methodical clear. And quick round, and Amp has built up what should be enough of a safe eco that
I really
they're never
like
going
this.
to have to worry about buys so long as the game
We
keeps going.
have the op head-to-head possibility again.
Yeah, we also see Rue being the one on the restricted buy here rather than MP9, which is interesting.
Yeah. I am kind of curious whether Ween's gonna take this towards inner or outside.
It does look like he's
inner.
going inner. It looks like he's going for the squeaky. Watches the smoke pop. They're actually that angle entirely.
This is. I like this.
He's going to pick up one. They're going to pick up a
so
second on the
good.
way into the run. They have sight, and that's bomb planted.
Yeah, this is a tough retake for Amp too.
Oh, and AJ thinks there's someone coming from secret as well. He's not even able to safely look at sight yet. Bomb's going to be down to 25 before Amp even starts to contest this here. Bone's now waiting on the smoke to pop in. It's such a 3-on-5.
No trades.
I don't want to write them out of the round, but 2-on-5, Bones has to make it to get a chance.
Whoa.
That is going.
That was a good try, but yeah, I mean that was a brutal post plan from Omen.
I mean,
leaving really no room.
Yeah, that one flash and Rue going in with the Mac 10 really just swung it all out, and it is going to be going towards Omen and 13-7. The CSE roster recently picked up by Omen Esports is going to be doing their new org proud and starting off the season 1-0.
Yeah, I think it was a very good showing from Omen. It was confident. It seems simple. They didn't really seem to overcomplicate the rounds or make any, big mistakes that you would expect from, maybe a team that's adjusting to a new level.
Yeah, they certainly did exactly what you would expect from them to do, mimicking a lot of what we saw from their playoffs, and it isn't a BO3, so they didn't throw map 1. I think that's all we have for today. I mean, I've been Firehawk. I've, of course, been joined by Expo. And as always, observing for us has been Cameron King, our love, the observer and producer. And we will see you all next time.
Bye.